Hello and welcome to EDUC 407. My name is Dr. David Gago. You're in the Technology and Digital Literacy class. I welcome you to this class. So this video is going to help you understand what this class is about, some of the things that we're going to be doing, as well as the stuff for the first week of class. So let's get started. Oh, let me go back. Who am I? I am Dr. David Gago. This is my third year at the University of Laverne. My 23rd year in education as a whole. I am a high school math teacher by day. I work at Golden Valley High School. I teach mathematics. I'm also a subject matter facilitator for the current high school district for mathematics, a mentor teacher. I have 2 master's degrees, one in educational technology and one in education, and my doctorate in educational leadership, plus I'm working on a 3rd master's at the moment. So I am pretty busy. I'm really big on education, and I'm here to help you guys out. So for our first week of class, this is how the course is going to be structured. I'm going to show you how to do all that stuff, just so you get prepared. We're going to talk about SAMR and ISTE standards, and we're going to talk about the week 1 learning, what we're going to do this week. It should be a pretty light week, so keep that in mind. But as we go through it, our 8 weeks, it will start ramping up, so be prepared. And I will try to give you plenty of time to get everything done. So how is this course structured? So this is what we do. I usually do a weekly announcement and video on Sundays. At least I try to get it ready by Sunday, so that way you guys can get started for the week. For some people, especially if you're working, even in education, you want to get started as soon as possible because you know what? We're busy. So I understand that. So I will do my best to help you out with that. We have a messaging board, Slack, for messages, questions, and for some assignments. You can always email me at any time. I am here to help you out. And then let's talk about our in-class meetings. And when I say in class, that means if you are here in Bakersfield, you'll show up to class. If you're not here in Bakersfield, what will happen is that I will have a Zoom link. And if something happens and you just can't make it to class, I totally get that. And that's why the Zoom link will be there. So you can still pay attention, still get the help that you need on those Thursdays. And there are 4 Thursdays that we're planning on right now based upon my schedule and what I feel is appropriate for you guys. The 2nd, which is this Thursday coming up, the 23rd, the 9th, and the 23rd of March, which is the last week of class. I want to make sure to take care of everything before the end of class. You'll notice that there are 4 weeks where we're not meeting. We could meet on Zoom if people need it. I'll kind of leave that up to us, to kind of discuss during our first meeting. But the 9th, the 16th, the 2nd, and the 16th of March, you do not have to come to campus. Or if you're down in LA, you don't have to go to that campus either. Or meet on Zoom unless we choose to do so. I will tell you right now, the one meeting I cannot do is the 16th of February. There's nothing I can do about that. I will not be available to meet. But, of course, I have email, and I will respond to email as quickly as I possibly can, or Slack messages. But we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through it. A typical week in this class is that you're going to learn about the ISTE standards. So there'll be a couple of assignments where you have to we're going to look at digital learning, different ways of learning with technology. We're going to learn about the technology standards. So there'll be a couple of assignments there. And then you have a couple of assignments to apply that learning to something else that you might be able to use inside your classroom. So there will be some stuff that you're going to create and use technology. Now, if you're familiar with a lot of technology, that's going to make things a lot easier. If you're not, this is a way to kind of get you introduced to it because a lot of schools are using the technology I'm going to show you as we go through this course. So the more you're able to get familiar with it, the better it will be for you. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about SAMR as we go through this process. The idea is that when we use technology, we don't want it to be a substitution, for paper and pencil. I don't want to use like a $500 Chromebook in order to just do the same thing that I could do with paper and pencil. I want it to be meaningful. So our goal is to look at ways that we can use technology that we move towards the modification and redefinition, which means that we're going to use that technology to do something really important that we couldn't do with paper and pencil. But that doesn't mean everything is perfect. We're going to learn some of that process and then allow you to test a few things out. So that's going to be something we're going to look at. We're also going to look at the ISTE standards. We're going to look at ISTE standards for students and for educators. We want to look at the student ones so that way you can see what the students need to know. And then also for the educators, how can we be the leaders for technology within our classrooms and our schools and our districts. Now, the second, third, and fourth week, we're going to really focus on what students need to know about technology and how it can be used for them. So you'll see that there are a total of 7 ISTE standards: Empowered Learner, Digital Citizen, Knowledge Constructor, Innovative Designer, Computational Thinker, Creative Communicator, and Global Collaborator that we're going to be talking about through these 3 weeks, and what those mean for students and how they can be used and used appropriately, and how people may not use those appropriately. So really kind of important stuff that your students should know. Then we're going to move weeks 5 through 8 about educators, about you guys, and learning how to use technology to be a leader, to be a citizen, a collaborator, a designer, a facilitator, analyst, and a learner. As an educator, we should all be learning all the time, and the more that we learn, the easier it is for us to incorporate that within our teaching practice. Now, there are a few questions that are frequently asked all the time. Should I follow Blackboard or the syllabus if there's a conflict? Occasionally, I'll put something in the syllabus and we won't do it. I'll look at what's happening. I always adjust things. The syllabus is there just to kind of give you a guideline, but Blackboard's going to have all the information you need. I really don't want to have any mystery or hidden assignments. If I make a mistake, I'm not going to penalize you for that. The syllabus is there to help you kind of know what you have to do, but Blackboard is where you want to look at, and we'll look at that in just a little bit. Do I accept late work? Yes. Guys, we're busy. Some of us have really long jobs, lots of hours. We want to make sure that you're able to do the stuff. So if you do turn in something late, not a big deal. If you talk to me, if something happens technologically that you can't do something, you get COVID or something like that. My last term, I got COVID, so it makes it tough. So late work is something that I can work with. But if you don't communicate with me, don't be surprised if you lose some points on that. Talk to me, keep me updated. One of the questions that I get a lot, do I have to work in a group? You are going to be working in groups with some of the content that we're going to do. Yes, you will do some individual work, and yes, your grade is based upon your individual work, but I'm encouraging you to be collaborators with other people. It makes things a lot easier when you work with other people than by yourself. And I know that in some cases, most of the time we go through college or universities and we're by ourselves, our own assignments. When it comes to education, working with other people, other educators, makes things go a lot faster and a lot easier. It's easier to do the work when you don't have to do it all by yourself. So it's going to be something that we will be doing, working with groups. So by the end of this next Sunday, February 5th, there are 4 assignments that I want you to complete. The first of which is what is called the Welcome Survey. I'll show you what that looks like in just a little bit. You're going to join Slack, which is our communication platform. So we don't have to give out phone numbers or anything like that. It's a way for us to do things privately without people seeing, but at the same time, not having to give out too much personal information. You'll post an introduction there, and I'll kind of show you that. You'll also do a getting to know you slide deck. So what I'll do is I'll have a link for the slides where you're going to put some information in there. I'll show you what mine kind of looks like so we can kind of get to know each other, who we're working with throughout these 8 weeks. And lastly, you're going to do what is ISTE. There's a couple videos I want you to watch and a couple responses you're going to do on Slack in order to kind of answer after you watch those videos. Okay, so there's a few things that we are going to be working on. You need to make sure you complete all of these by Sunday. Now, for some people, you might complete it Monday, and that's okay. If you complete it early, great. If it does take you till Sunday, that's fine. Just make sure you're not falling behind on a lot of the information. If you do have any questions about anything, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I have 2 email addresses that you can reach me at. The Laverne one, dgago@laverne.edu. You can always reach me there. Or my email from my work for Kern High, david_gago@kernhigh.org. Both of those I get on my phone. So if you need to reach out to me, I will reach out as quickly as I can back to you. You can also send me a message on Slack. Again, I'll show you what that is. If you send me a message on Slack, like a private message, again, I get that on my phone as well, so I can respond and help out as much as I can, because that's my goal, is to help you guys out to make your term as easy as possible. Okay, so let's look real quickly at Blackboard. So I want you to kind of have an idea what you're getting yourself into. So I don't want you to be surprised at this. So let's look at that. I'm coming over here to Blackboard, so I'm in my tab with that. You will see the first part. There will be a video right here. Okay, I'm making the video right now, so it's not in there. But once I finish this and render it and put it, on there, I'll put a link. You can watch this video there. So just want to make sure that's where you'll see it. And every week I will make a new video that highlights what we're going to do this week to kind of get you prepared. So if there's any questions, hopefully that can answer them. But of course, you're more than welcome to email me. Right here, I've got the list of assignments for this week. Welcome to week 1. Again, complete the entry survey, join Slack, and post your introduction. Add a slide to our Getting to Know You slide deck and Getting to Know the ISTE standards, which is the videos you'll watch and the response you'll do on Slack. You'll see here, this first thing is the syllabus. I'm going to send it to you on email. So when you get it on email, this is another place where you can look at it in case you have any questions. Now, you'll notice that in the syllabus, when you look at it, there will be a book that you need to get. I believe you'll need that no later than week 4. So that gives you a little bit of time to look for it. I recommend going on Amazon. That's usually the best place to go. But make sure you get that book. Okay, you don't need it for this week, and I don't believe you'll need it for next week for sure. But by week 4, I'm pretty sure we're going to need to start working through it. So make sure it gives you a little bit of lead time to get that. The first part is the welcome survey. Okay, this is a survey that kind of gives me some information. Once you click on this right here, there's a link. It'll take you straight to the survey. Answer each of the questions. There's like 9 sections of questions. Trying to get your feel about technology, where you're at, time, that you guys can meet. Because a lot of times with what we're doing, especially on Slack, we want to make sure that we're able to communicate with each other in a timely manner. I know we all have different schedules, but it kind of gives me an idea of what to expect when I see that, hey, maybe someone's not responding because they can't respond. And that way I could keep groups, from getting upset or anything like that. The second assignment is to join Slack right here. Okay, the second assignment is to join Slack. Make sure you click on this link right here. When you click on this link, you are going to go and basically sign up with your Laverne email address, a messaging board called Slack. This is a way for us to communicate with each other in channels that really focus our conversations that we have with each other. It's kind of like doing discussion boards, but in a way that it's easier to respond, and you can use your phone to respond. So it's not just something that is on a computer, but you can use your phone, and it really makes a difference. Once you join, you want to make sure to post a short introduction about yourself. So let me show you what that kind of looks like. So when you go to Slack, you're going to get something like this. It's usually going to say EDUC 407 Spring 23 here. I have a few classes that I use this with. Over here on the left-hand side, you will see the channels. So each week that I do assign something, it's based upon a channel, and you respond inside that channel. This is the introductions channel. I have posted an introduction about myself, just a little blurb. I don't need to, you don't have to get very personal with it unless you want to, but make sure you post an introduction there. Once I see that you posted your introduction there, then what's going to happen is that I'll see that, and then I can grade it. If you post an introduction, you're going to get full points. Okay, so make sure you post in there. If you don't post an introduction, that means I don't know if you joined Slack or you're ready to go. So that's going to be a question that I'll have to ask you personally. Try to do that as quickly as you can. That way you don't have to run into any tech issues. Coming back to Blackboard, the next thing is the Getting to Know You slides. There's a link right here. Click on that link and follow the directions to add a slide about yourself. Okay, so this is what we have here. It's a Getting to Know You. So it's a slide deck, so Google Slides. Everybody should have access to it. If you run into any issues, make sure you email me, and I'll make sure to give you access. But what you're doing is you're creating a slide with these features, and you can change the background. Your name is the only text that should be on the slide. Everything's about pictures. Picture of something that you like or love that would surprise your classmates. Picture of your favorite TV series, movie, book, song, app, video game, something that you like. You need 1 or 2 pictures on that. Picture of a place outside the U.S. you'd like to visit. What is your favorite subject in school, if you have one? And a picture that represents your personality. So the goal is to have fun. Okay. Now, the only thing I do ask you is please don't change that second slide, because that's me. So don't write on that. So if you have to add a slide, that's fine, but just don't change that. Second one, because otherwise you won't get to see me. And kind of give you an idea of what that looks like. This is my slide. You know, a little bit about me. I am a big Star Wars fan, so I love Star Wars. Obviously, as a math teacher, I like math. You'll see just a little personality about me. I am crazy as a teacher. I will dress up for rallies. If you see there on the bottom left-hand side, that's me and my daughter. She went to my same school where I taught at, and I got to have fun. I'll dress up for rallies and dance and everything like that. And I love my sports. You know, I'm a big Lakers fan, and I will go all out. You'll see in the middle on the bottom is a place that I'd like to visit. I'd like to visit Berlin. I'm a big history buff, World War II. I'd love to see some of the stuff that's regarding that, especially the Brandenburg Gate and everything. So again, you know, just a little bit of something about yourself. You don't have to go deeply personal, but you know, just kind of tell us who you are, so we kind of get an idea. Some of you guys are taking the same classes, you know, with each other, so it's always good to get to know each other as people. Okay, coming back to Blackboard. Our last assignment is the getting to know the ISTE standards. Okay, this course is structured around that. Okay, that's International Society of Technology and Education. ISTE has a lot of conferences that bring forth technology to kind of show how educators could use it. There's a conference, I believe, in late June in Philadelphia. I'm hoping to go to that, just so you know I can learn as much as I can. Make sure you watch these two videos. So this is introducing the ISTE standards and 7 ways the ISTE standards, it's like a music video, talks about what students are doing. When you watch those videos, you're going to go into Slack, and there's a link right here or there for the hashtag Get to Know ISTE. You'll see that they're all kind of hashtag, they're channels. I want you to answer these 2 questions. How are ISTE standards different than content or subject standards? And number 2, why would it be important for teachers to learn about the ISTE standards? Now, ISTE standards are different than content standards, content being like math or English or science or social studies or something like that. And why is it important to know these? And again, we're just starting off, so make sure you just post the answer to both those questions in that particular channel. Now, this week you're going to see a few things down here where it says teacher use only. These are only to give you the grades in Blackboard because, you know, I can't have you submit a Google slide, and when you finish the survey, all I guys see is that you've done it. So right here, all of these are for me to do the grading for the week. It's not always like that. Sometimes you will submit something and put something in there, but for the most part, if I put teacher use only, don't just ignore that. Make sure you do everything above. So these are the 4 assignments we're going to do this week. When we meet on Thursday, we'll talk about these assignments, make sure everyone understands what they still have to do. A lot of times what I'm going to do is preview these next week. So I'll preview the week 2 assignments in case you guys want to start working on them. Because the sooner you're able to work on them, you can manage your time. I'm really big on trying to give you as much time as possible. So for some people that will help out. You're raising kids, you've got jobs, you've got, you know, relationships, you got things that are going on. You want to take a vacation somewhere and enjoy your weekend. If I can set it up early for you, that's going to be important because I'm just as busy too, and I want to make it as easy as I can for you. I look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday. Now, if for whatever reason you cannot make class, make sure you email me. I will make sure to send out a Zoom link no matter what, that you guys can access it. But if you can come to class, that's great. It's good to see everybody. And it's also good to, you know, kind of get to know people and help with technology right then and there. But if you do have any questions, either email me at either the email addresses, or you can message me on Slack, or, you know, one way or another, you should be able to get a hold of me. But I look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday, and I hope you guys have a good start to your term.